So we are here today showing you how to Bondo a crack. So you might be watching this wondering, why is a skate ramp company who makes things for my house showing me how to fix crusty, nasty spots in the streets? And it's because at the end of the day, we're street skateboarders too. Just as much fun as it is to skate a mini ramp at home, it's also fun to like skate some crusty ledge out in the street. And a lot of times you have to put in some work and make the spot better to make it skatable for you and your friends. So we want to make sure we show you how to do it the right way and a way that's going to make it last the longest. So we're over here today at a little spot pretty close to our shop in Long Beach. I packed a bunch of supplies for this mission. First things first, I got my Bondo, and so inside of it is gonna be the hardener, which we'll get to later. And then aside from that, you're also gonna need some spreaders and some scrapers. So we got spreaders there. You're definitely gonna want tape. So I have some blue masking tape. Works pretty well, but sometimes it doesn't stick that well, especially if you're on like a dirty or dusty surface. Gorilla tape works really well as duct tape. This, I thought it was Gorilla tape, but it's essentially like a packing tape. So I brought this because I think this is gonna stick a little bit better. Gloves are a good idea, just to keep the Bondo off your hands. Brought a little mini broom. I brought a blower also for the same reason. Blow out that crack. And then I brought some scrap pieces of skate light. And this is essentially gonna be my mixing board. You could use cardboard, you could use the back of your grip tape, whatever you got lying around. So here's all our stuff. Here's our spot, cool little ledge into this bank. There is some previous Bondo work here. It looks like over time, this bank just keeps getting more and more diminished from wheels. Obviously, there's a lot of problematic areas. There's a chunk right there that just came off. So this is definitely in need of some maintenance for sure. And then there's also a crack here. It's not that bad right now, but I imagine that it will get worse the more it's skated, especially for people that are coming up and hitting this before they hit the ledge. So maybe we'll do this for our how to fill a basic crack, because this pretty much mimics any old crack you're gonna find in the street. And then afterwards, we'll do a big section here and show you how to fill in a nasty, crudded up area like that. So first we're gonna tackle this little crack here. So I'm just gonna make sure that none of this is loose. So I'm gonna use my pocket knife and kind of just get the rest of this out of here. Break up any of this loose rock and stuff that's floating around. So yeah, I'll probably do it from here to here. I'm gonna sweep this away. I'm gonna blow this. Oddly satisfying getting all that stuff out of there. All right, so now I'm gonna tape it off. This is gonna kind of serve as like a dam of sorts for how far I want the Bondo to go. Uh-oh. Oh, this tape sucks. Okay, for the record, don't use thin, weird packing tape. I'm gonna wanna make sure that it's really stuck on there, because this isn't a truly flat surface. It has all the grooves and grit of the asphalt and the concrete. Oh God, this tape sucks. And then just in case I'm sloppy with it, I'm gonna do 2 rows of tape. Really doesn't like to stick to the asphalt. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into mixing the Bondo. I don't have a paint key, so I'm gonna use my pocket knife. Looks like you could use a mix. You can kind of see some separation of the liquid and the putty in there. Did I not bring a stick? Jesus Christ. So I actually forgot a stick, but luckily I found this stick in the gutter. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up a little bit. I've had this sitting around for a while. I bought it maybe 6 months ago. So I'm just gonna dump some out here. You can kind of just eyeball it. This crack probably gonna take like half of this can. So that's about enough to work with. All right, now we're gonna add the hardener, which came with the Bondo. There is an actual measurement. I wanna say it's 50 parts to 1, but everybody I know pretty much eyeballs it, and all the other tutorials that are on the internet say to eyeball it. So that looks like more than enough. So the more of this hardener you put, the faster this stuff is gonna dry, AKA the faster you have to put it on and be done and all smeared up. You want it one consistent pink color. All right, that's pretty good, good and mixed. So now I'm gonna grab a spreader. I'm gonna use this little one here. Smear it all in here. Okay, so as I'm doing this, it's gonna wanna harden. So I wanna work as fast as possible. Some people say to only spread from one direction. To initially get it on there, I don't really worry about that too much. I kind of move all over the place, but my last pass, I definitely will do one. It's kind of one of those things, the more you mess with it, the worse it ends up looking, and it's already kind of doing that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do one steady pass over the whole thing. That looks pretty good. I have a little bit left over. Might as well smear it in somewhere. Maybe this little spot, we'll just see how that goes. This won't be a pretty one. Kind of fun. Oh yeah, look at it. So when you see it getting all clay-like, you've gone too far. We're past the window. So now we're just gonna sit and wait for this to dry. Usually it just needs like 15 minutes or so to be fully hardened. So we'll come back and take a look in like 10 or 15 minutes and just feel how tacky it is or not. All right, so it's been about 12-ish, maybe 15 minutes. Seems like it's pretty hard. It's ever so slightly tacky. I'm gonna go ahead and just peel the tape off now. Oh, not bad. I like the bottom edge. Top's a little thick. Whoa. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. And so sometimes if you do it just right, if you play your cards just right, you won't even need to sand. The only reason you really ever need to is just for that edge of right where the Bondo meets the ground. If you do have a noticeable edge, wheels are gonna hit it over and over. And as the wheels just hit it over and over and over and over and over, that little edge is gonna be more likely to chip sooner. So that's kind of why guys will use sandpaper. And you can use grip tape too. The only problem with grip tape, it's a little bit too gritty. I like a finer grit. And so basically you just want to focus on that edge, right where the ground meets your patch. So now that's just seamless right there. So this all looks pretty good. I have this little divot right here where the Bondo found its way into the hole. Should be fine. Yeah, I like my whole bottom now. Do the top a little bit. Try to hit this edge some. This one will probably take a long time if I wanted to get it all the way down because it is bunched up a little bit. That's good enough. And then just for consistency purposes, I'm gonna sand the whole thing a little bit just to try to give it all the same look. So if a buddy comes and skates this, he's not like, oh, look at your ugly Bondo job. Just trying to take some pride in my work, you know? Just so Stephen Page doesn't come over here and talk shit. So I like that. That's solid right there. This feels perfect. Wheels are gonna go right over that. This should last a long time. So now that we showed you how to do a crack, we're gonna kind of switch gears and do a big chunked up area like this. So this spot, you can see there used to be some Bondo. I think it was this whole area because I see remnants here. There's chunks left here. So I'm guessing somebody probably did a big patch here, which makes sense for this spot because say you're going blunt, fakie, wheels are kind of skidding, going around right there. It's like chunking up that area. So I'll probably focus on this zone here. I probably don't have enough to address that, but it's not that likely you're gonna be flying all the way over there. It sucks how much it just chips away. Definitely sweep the crap out of a spot like this. Okay, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Blower time. So we got all our dust and debris and all the crap out of there. I'm gonna go ahead and actually put gloves on this time. So I got ahead of myself and got my fingers all dirty and got it in my nail beds, which is annoying. So I'm gonna throw the gloves on. And then just for comparison purposes, I'm gonna use the painter's tape this time, and we'll see how our edges do. Can't use your nails with gloves on. Keep that in mind. Yeah, that definitely is not sticking as well. So this is a pretty large area, judging by me using about 1/3 to 1/2 of the can on this. So I have like 1/2 to 2/3 left. I'm hoping I have enough to cover this. If not, I mean, at least this is gonna help this spot a lot. Got my Bondo ready, got my stick ready, and my hardener. And if you wanna be able to use these tools again, bring a little bucket of water, and right after you're done using your spreaders, when they have the Bondo and the hardener on them, just throw them in that water and rinse them off to get all the hardened residue off. Spot maintenance at its finest. Little smiley face. Little nose, some hair. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, I definitely went kind of nuts on the hardener, and that just means time is of the essence. Get the swirls out. Got them out for the most part. It's definitely more nerve-wracking working with the big areas. Okay, so now that I got the bulk of it all in there, I'm gonna use a bigger spreader. I'm gonna go all this direction. Like we talked about earlier, I'm gonna try to pull all one way. Now that I'm pulling, kind of exposing those rocky areas, so I'm gonna add some of this back in here. See what I meant about the more you mess with it, the worse it gets? It's getting too hard, so I'm just gonna stop right there. That's gonna be a little sand zone. And we wait. Aw, Bondo on the pants. So we're gonna unveil. I'm not as proud of this one. Definitely has like some crazy grooves and divots and bubbles in there, but we were working with a super unpredictable, not as easy as a crack, obviously. Pull from this way. So this is a sign that I went too thick on my edges. When it starts to bring up my whole patch, kind of like that. Salvageable. So not nearly as clean as that first one, but this will work. I mean, this is a hell of a lot better than that. To make this last as long as possible, again, I'm just gonna sand those edges. When you do this, your fingers are gonna get hot as hell. So since I did it so thick, I am gonna have to sand for a while before I get rid of that little bump. Another good part about taking a little pride in your work is that if somebody sees this, say the property owner or the guy renting here happens to see this, they might think the city did it. So if you do it nice and clean, they might not even realize it's for skateboarding. So I'm just sanding the whole thing for consistency purposes, so it all kind of looks the same color and finish. Now I'm just gonna clean up, blow and sweep away all this residue I've created at the spot. So if I'm coming off of here, that should be the right zone. So I guess now I gotta skate it, which I'm happy about, but it's a lot of pressure also. right, so we got a few tricks on the spot. Bondo worked out great. Went up it, down it, power slid across the patch that's on the asphalt. No problems, no issues, skates great. Hopefully some dudes come through and get some clips for their videos. Hopefully you found this how-to helpful. And if you go and do this somewhere in your area, make sure you're not doing it in a busy place. Avoid cops, security guards, nice buildings, Karens, etc. Please let us know if you'd like to see any other videos along these lines. We don't just build skate ramps, we're just down for skating and anything that comes along with it. We plan on doing more videos along these lines. We want to show you guys how to make ramps, how to take care of your ramps, make sure they last a long time, fix spots in the streets. Maybe we'll get into some board maintenance. So let us know things that you'd like to see along those lines, and we'll definitely make more videos like these. Thank you for watching, and we hope you tune in to our next one.